So we're going to use this item that we got from a different dungeon ahead of time. It's a pretty cool device. It's a very rare item that you can use to summon the Stril, and it ports you all the way across the world. Very cool to use this and people not know what it is, and then they click it no matter where they're at, and it'll port them to where we're about to go, which is the Grim Guzzler. This is a pretty cool dungeon. It's part of Blackrock Depths. It's giant. It's massive. It's so big, we don't have a map for it to give us to show. It immediately shows you the outer world map. I could cheat a little bit to show you what. So this is Zul'Gurub. This is where we just were. Pretty massive, right? That's a raid. Let me bring it into Eastern Kingdoms, 1 of 2. Maybe it's not in here. BRD. Blackrock Mountain. So this is Blackrock Depths right here. So this portion right here is Zul'Gurub. That's Zul'Gurub. This is Blackrock Depths. And it is multi-layered. So much so that we're going to jump through this dungeon. That's why we came here, to get to Molten Core. The entrance to Molten Core is in this dungeon. The attunement for it's... Not stressed. I got something in my eye. It's pretty cool how they designed this game. It's classic World of Warcraft. I can't even wrap my head around future expansions of World of Warcraft and how the detail and the hidden stuff that they put throughout them that probably people haven't even found yet. And some devs are just sitting there giggling at the fact that nobody will ever find their secrets in the game. Someone probably secretly wants it as well, but I have to open up this door here. And I don't have a key. So I can either start a bar fight and then something comes through and punches the door open, and then I have to fight a boss to get through it to do that, or just skip it entirely. But I did a secret quest chain where you talk to the succubus here. So she pretty much just wants some, she wants to get busy, because she's a succubus. So she has the hots for one of the dwarves that are in here that I gave her a love potion, right? So she's going to go up and give it to this guy, and he's going to think that it's a drink, because he's just a thirsty little dwarf, right? And she's going to hook him up with it, and you're going to see them she's basically just succubusism. That's what's happening. It's kind of, now I'm thinking about it, this is kind of not PC, what goes on right here. She pretty much roofies this guy, right? And they're just gonna go off and do the thing now. So they're just, most importantly, what they're going to do is open the door I need to get through, which is a huge shortcut to get to where I'm going. And there they go. I wonder what's happening back here. Behind my name. Huh? Whoa. Whoa. All right. I gotta, before I get in trouble, Pokecatch. Yo, you caught Jinx? Let's go, dude. All right. So I'm gonna let them go flirt. What I want to do is I want to actually... So this is one of the rooms. I'm going to jump into this pit. And that's a boss. I want to skip him. And you think, well, why would you jump down into the lava? You jump down into the lava. Into another secret area. And I want to kind of just cheat along this lava here. Now I could run along the wall and take less damage. But I'm kind of crazy. I'm going to go right through the lava here, which there are enemies hidden within. So I kind of have a thing on that highlights enemy health bars. It puts them down here instead of on their portrait. So it manipulates the game UI a little bit to get to this. Hopefully I can make it over to here where we're trying to get to. Oh god. Skipping a lot of enemies that we don't necessarily want to need to fight to slow us down. And if you time the jump just well enough, just perfect enough, you actually don't take damage. In fact, I'm healing up a little bit as I'm running through this lava because I've timed my jump well enough that it avoid the damage that it puts on you for being in lava. It's kind of cool. There's a little ramp here. They expected players to actually find this, right? to get up here. And right here is a foundry. This is the only place in the game you can smelt, or at least I'm tracking, dark iron. And dark iron is like a thing I can't mine anymore. I just realized that's kind of depressing. I was always excited to come here and get some dark iron. Very rare ore that's still used today. So we're gonna go skip these guys. We actually might want to fight them. Into these guys. These aren't even elite mobs. Or are they? Maybe they are, but they're very low level. Gonna kill them off because I don't want them poking me in the butt. So this is where you attune the molten core. This rock right here. A weird rock, but you click that and you get attuned to this portal right here, which takes you into the molten of cores. So this is the entrance to this raid. It's crazy. There's a raid inside of this dungeon. Wild. There's other secret locations you could get into the outer world inside of Black Rock Mountain to like portal secret locations. And an NPC that you could talk to that's out there that get you into the game. But I need to use my button to get me into the raid, because otherwise I'll run at it and it's like, you need to be part of a raid group. Does it say of at least 40 people? Of at least 50 to level up 50 there. I was about to say. All right, so I'm going to mash that button. So it's just inviting player A, can't find them. So I just got to time it right. So I'm running in and out of like triggering to get into the instance. I just maybe hit it a little bit faster and it grabbed it. Perfect. Perfect. Well, you've got this down to a science. I've been doing this for many, many years. I forget how long. How long has it been? Holy smokes. My whole life. My whole life. Now, I know how like RuneScape players feel when they're like they've mastered their game. So typically I'd fight these guys, but I get squeezed right by them. They're not going to affect me. I'm gonna go right here. I should catch this ledge. Perfect. If not, you'd fall into the lava and you just have to hop up here and maybe fight those guys, but we're just going to skip them. So we're inside Molten Core right now. Pretty cool. I'm going to heal up a little bit because these enemies in here they're no joke. They actually, even though it's from 3 expansions ago, kind of clap. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I got all of my right gear on. Make sure I'm rocking a fire resistance buff. I got my potions taken. We're ready to kick some butt. I'm going to kind of skip this guy there. It's a little skip right there. So these dogs have a crazy aggro range, no cap. Like, even though I ran right next to that guy and skipped him, I'm probably going to pull this guy, even though he's nowhere near me. Oh, I'm right outside it. I dodged him, but I can't. There's no way I'm getting past this one. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Oh, can I? All right, good. Yeah, the more mobs I could skip, the better. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and go right between these two. Down this way. This is one of the guys we have to fight. His name's Gar. Gar's got technically the first binding. No, I got to squeeze between these two. Actually, I'm going to fight this one. I'd rather fight this rock guy than that dog. So Gar's potentially, this is like a baby Gar. Gar, it's like a Gar friend. Gar friend. So Gar is a big giant version of him, and I need to be, and I've tested this out, in tank spec, or at least at least tank spec, to fight him. He hits hard. So I'm going ahead and I'm clearing like this little shelf of enemies right here, because the other boss, which we'll get to, I'm going to have to pull from his room all the way over here, and I'll explain why very shortly. And I'm kind of going over this in like little bits of detail. First the jumping and then saying hi, Rosie. Hopefully I didn't miss that. Hi, Rosie. I miss you. Hope you're having a great day. Oh my God.
Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you. I needed that. I needed that energy. All right. So the dog's pat down here. So basically where he's coming from, we're going to have like Baron. I gave away his name. Shouldn't have said it. I jinxed it now. Right here. And we're basically going to see how like the ceiling is pretty high in this room, but right here on this lip, it's really low. So Baron does this one ability that makes us jump up into the air, like fly up in the air. And basically that does the most damage out of all of his attacks, is knocking us up. It's not even the knock up that does the damage, it's the fall damage you get from it. So basically we use the room itself to prevent us from taking that damage. No, from time to time, I do have a cloak that has a parachute on it that I can click, and I might need to use it running down this hallway because it's a long path, and he might put that ability on us before we even get to this minute. Then I'll have to use that. And sometimes I even goof, like I'm out like attacking him, and I forget to run to the wall. Well, I'll need to use that to prevent that from happening. Oh shit! Pardon my language. We'll just edit that out. So I pull these guys out here and make sure I don't die, because they will stun me into the ground, literally. So you can see how much our flash of light is just proccing all the time. I heal myself back up. It breaks, like, this is good for like just fighting enemies that aren't bosses, but bosses hit harder, they have more HP, it's a longer fight. That's good. You want to be in tank spec, and you have less crit as a tank, but when it does hit, it's often, it can. Good. Very good. Paladins are broken. DKs do this even better, and druids are also capable of doing this. Warriors are finicky. We can do it as well. Pretty sure they can anyway. Rosie, you're catching a ferry today. Santered back home to Plymouth, so I need to go get ready. Go now. Please do not let me be the reason. I will always be here. A curse. I'm cursed. So go take care of yourself, please. It is an honor to have you. It is an absolute honor to have you. You're just Rosie's OG. To have you stop by here. I love you. Bye. Thank you. We're gonna cut it short soon anyway. It's cleaning up my bag. Says a blue item just dropped here. And these things sell for so much money. Money. Anyway, let us. So I cleared out the things I need to do. I want to be quick because they will respawn just as fast as I killed them. So I'm gonna go. I have a few more ads I have to clear in the other room. So I'm gonna get some mana back. There's another rock. As that dog came down here, a rock guy comes even faster, and I definitely want to make sure I kill him or track his Pat, so I don't get him the same time I have Rag. No, I'm not Rag. Wrong boss. Baron. Not that I can't do them at the same time. Not that I have in the past, but I've accidentally pulled way too many mobs here before with Baron. So that's that surger I was just talking about. He's going to run right past us, and here's Baron. Here's Baron just flying down here too. And they almost share like a similar path. Oh, back. I don't want to pull too many. I want to kill the surger. Then I'm going to grab this back. So I either need to grab that pack or this pack, and then I can get Baron. See, Pat's right between them. And I'm just feeling this pack has less enemies in it. I've always grabbed this pack, so I'm going to probably grab this one. And hopefully, that's the way. Alright, so he's dead. I'm going to grab this one while he's still away. Oh wow, he pat fast. Sometimes Baron, like you can see, he's back here again. We're tracking it. That was Baron that's running around. He's doing his laps. Sometimes he goes up that hill and he don't come back for a minute. I don't know where he's going. Nobody does. I'd love to know, like, if there's like a secret cam we could put like all the way up to the other end to see where he goes. Like sometimes just hangs out. Like you'll be here for like a few minutes. You're like, yeah, we're Baron. Where'd you go, dude? We're waiting for you. Hopefully he doesn't now. Like you see him, he's running up there. He's gone. He's up. He ran out of our field of vision. He's gone somewhere. Wonder where. Just want to know. Hopefully, now that we cleared the path and we're ready for Baron, I sure hope he's not on that trip where he takes forever to come back. Meanwhile, egg. He's back. All right. I started doubting. A wild deerling appeared. Chat. All right, we're going to snag him. Again, looking at all my buffs, they're low, but I still got them. That's fine. I'll explain why. I'm not going to refresh them right now. But what we're going to do is get this baby buff. And bang. Woo, I almost pulled that other pack. All right, I'm going to use my boots. Run. Because I want to get to where I said I was going to try to get to before he puts that thing called Living Bomb on me. But even if he puts it on me right now, I have like a few seconds to get that spot. So I'm just running, cutting him. So Living Bomb is on me. So in the top right, you see it's counting down in the below section. I have a few seconds to get to this wall right here. Boom. Barely any damage. So he's also doing a little AoE right now. You do not want to run in on him while he's doing that. At least not in my spec.
Run out.
So Living Bomb is on me again. This is the fight. He's just going to keep doing this. So I have 3 seconds to get to that wall. Like I said, cut it in the way because I don't want the AoE thing to go off while I'm going under here. The only place I can go where I'm safe. And now he's in my danger spot. So I'm going to go. Oh, that's my only safe space. But while he's doing it, he usually doesn't put Living Bomb on you. Usually. So we're going to trade spots with him. I'm going to make sure he's on that side. 1 second to get to the wall. I missed it a little bit. That's fine. Took a little bit of extra fall damage. Not too much, though. So I'm going to cut him back away. I'm going to actually pop my wings. Do some extra damage to him. He's popping his little AoE thing. I'm up under the lip. Boop. So he's still doing it, but I pop my wings. So I want to try to get that damage onto him. We got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. I'm up under the lip. Healing myself back up this whole time. I'm mashing him in the face, dropping my AoE on the ground, making him step in it. And putting a shield on myself. And periodically, he'll also put like a debuff on me that's not Living Bomb that makes me take extra damage. So right here, it's called Ignite Mana. So 400 my mana burned every 3 seconds. The more mana I have, the more damage I'm taking. So I want to just cleanse that off me. I can just cleanse that off me, so it don't even matter, honestly. One of the dangerous abilities that he has. So he put Living Bomb on me. He's going to drop a Consecration at his feet. I'm going to try to run away, get underneath the lip. So he's doing his AoE, so I'm going a little bit further. That's fine. I'm going to just heal up while he's doing that. I usually would cast like a ranged ability at him while I'm waiting. I got to dispel. My thing will tell me that I got to dispel it. So I'm up under the lip because I have the Living Bomb on me at the same time. I'm cleaving him down, running him back out. Now it's execution phase, and it's really easy. We can just pop some like bombs, my gloves, throw some extra stuff onto him. More importantly, make sure I don't die in this process. Now that we're this close and I'm not losing focus, he popped his AoE, so I got to get under this lip and not from underneath his feet. I'm a little half HP, so I'm just going to pop a big heal on myself, just get that up while I can't attack him anyway. And right now we're just basically going to finish him off. Boom. And now, after all that, we get to see if we got the binding. Oh, all right, we didn't get the binding. That's fine, because now we get to do it again next week, and then 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 next week. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't want to fight these dogs. What? Okay, so going from him, which you can clearly kill him in the Retribution spec pretty easily, might add you. A lot of little hyper focus. We're going to switch over to our tank spec. Now, if you could do this guy in your Retribution spec, you will probably, and I don't know how you do it, maybe you throw in a sword and a shield, or a sword and board, stick and board, whatever. I haven't thought about doing that yet. That actually might work. I find that he punches me so hard that I kind of sweat in tank spec, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Because I do not have this Art of War thing, I'm sheerly relying on my defensive capabilities to ignore a large amount of the damage he's going to be putting on me, to not have to try to heal at all through it. I'm very nervous and I'm very scared because I'm so comfortable with the Preg spec. But because I have to spec this way for the raid, I have to make this work. Now, before I jump in there, I know I switched the spec over. I need to make sure I have the right gear equipped. So I'm going to go in my item equipment manager, throw in my tank gear, taking a look at it, ignore the fact that I got new loot and it's not enchanted or gemmed yet. That is fine. It's still dumpy pumpy this phase 2 loot, which you can technically do these bosses on near optimum gear from the Burning Crusade, which is last expansion. So with that being said, like phase 1 bis, or even phase 1 tier gear should be enough to come in here and do the damn thing. Anyway, again, I said I'm not too worried about these buffs wearing off or them being low. So I still have enough on my pots and my food buff, 30 minutes left with that being said, between that boss and this one to still push forward with that. The other buffs will get dispelled throughout this fight. Most importantly, I want to make sure that I'm using Blessing of Sanctuary? Sanctuary? I think I'm saying that right. So every time I get punched in the face, I'm getting mana back. If I don't have this on, and you will see if I forget to reapply it, which I hope I don't, I will lose a lot of mana really fast. The only other way I'm getting mana back is through my Divine Plea, and occasionally every 2 minutes, my Arcane Torrent. Now, I'm also going to put on Seal Command when I engage this fight, because he has a lot of little babies around him, which you cannot avoid attacking or pulling during the pull phase. I'm going to try to make sure I don't pull any of these dogs in while I'm fighting this, because they could definitely make this fight a lot harder. So I'm going to definitely focus all of his babies around him first, as they, on death, can potentially do a crazy knockback of skill. So I'm going to have my back against the wall, just in case. Because if it's not, I'm actually going flying out into this room. Not only will I take massive fall damage, but I could aggro a bunch of stuff I do not want to have to deal with. So, I know I put like an X on Gar's head. So as I'm tabbing through these guys to do damage to them, I just want to make sure I'm not attacking the one with the X on his head, because that'll mean I'm attacking the wrong target, and not so often will I be reading the red name that he has in here on top of his red health bar, because that'd be really hard to do. So I'm just looking for the red X. Actually, I'm going to make that a blue square, because I'll definitely see that as I'm tabbing through them faster than anything else. So anyway, so I got my AoE, I got my Retribution, Righteous Fury for extra damage, I got my Sanctuary buff, I got my boots tied tight, I got my lunch packed right. Definitely going to get into a fight. I'm going to get topped off of my health and mana, and then we're going to go and do this. And I'm super hyped because it's only once a week, every week, that we get to do this for a chance at the thing that he might be able to drop. And if I get one of them, just one of them, let alone two of them, hallelujah, I will then know, coming here every week, that is one boss I do not have to fight anymore. Hopefully. So we're topped off on our shit. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to cut this. We're topped off on ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and now engage this boss fight. I'm going to put my baby shield on me, and hopefully I checked all my balances before we engage this, because we are about to begin. So I taunted him, immediately taunting off of him, putting my back up to the wall. AoE, got my defensives off. I'm just rolling off my gear, my bomb, my wings, everything, because I want to get these ads down as soon as possible. All right, so this is one that's going down. All right, he's already low off of Gar. I can see I tab targeted immediately to Gar and tabbed off of him immediately. I'm going to make sure I have my Divine Plea up, popping this, because just get extra mana back. You can see when my nameplate highlights in white, I have some kind of debuff on me. I want to cleanse that off of me immediately. I don't even know what it does, but I know I do not want it on me. I'm going to mouse over it. It says movement speed reduced by 6%. That doesn't matter, but I don't like seeing it. I'm on Gar, so I'm tabbing off of him. Just popping off all my abilities, cleaving all of his ads down, making sure my personal shield's back up on myself. That's my little sacred shield, making sure my holy shield is rolling all the time, exactly at the same time as my judgment of the wisdom, because that's proccing off of my book that I have in here, which is giving me extra block value reduction value, which means that they, over a certain value, don't even touch me. And if I don't have that rolling, that means they're potentially cutting through into my health bar, and I do not want to be losing any health, as I said before, because I'm not spec'd into Art of War to make sure that I can get my health back without having to hard cast. And at least once through this fight, maybe twice, because I'm not actually tracking how long this fight can go, can I pop my Divine Shield, which means I will take no damage whatsoever, to save myself to heal back up all the way. to get my health up. Now, I made a crucial mistake this whole entire time. Like I said at the beginning of the fight, he's going to be dispelling things off of me this whole time. And I forgot to put Sanctuary Aura back up, and I'm having mana issues right now, which is fine because as they're punching me in the face, like I said, as long as the buff's on me, he cleansed it immediately off me. What a jerk. They're going to be giving me my mana back as well as my Judgments to the Wisdom. Now, if I were having no mana issues and I was having health issues, I'd be casting Judgment of Light as well. Now I'm not AoEing stuff, it's just me and him. I'm going to put my Judgment, the Seal of Corruption on him because I want to be doing as much damage to him as possible right now, because I don't want to be in this fight any longer than I have to. However, since I am having some mana issues, I'm going to have to put on Seal of the Wisdom. Again, if you're not having mana issues and you're having health issues, you'd put on Seal of the Light. And there are other bosses in this dungeon that or in this raid that I would absolutely do that for, like Golemag, for instance. But we're not fighting Golemag, and we're having mana issues because he's spelling some of the crucial things that I need on us to get our mana back. So we're doing Seal of Wisdom up until then. Definitely making sure we have our shields up. Our wisdoms are rolling, our holy shields. We're mitigating all the damage coming in. Again, I don't want that debuff on me, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Again, probably don't have to worry about it for one of two reasons. One, we're not moving anyway, so the movement speed reduction doesn't matter. And we're not cleansing using mana to cleanse a thing off of us that doesn't really matter. So I just don't like seeing it. It's annoying. So with that being said, I'm making sure that my spell's on me. I'm near capped for my mana, so now I'm going to go over the Seal of Corruption, start putting that on. I'm going to pop my gloves that give me extra haste. I'm going to throw a bomb on the ground, do some extra damage, and I'm going to pop wings. So wings is like a 3-minute cooldown when you're not in retribution spec, and I can look at the clock right now. I can see there's like less than 2 minutes now that I popped that because they're throwing a lot of damage onto him. But when I didn't do all that, you could see at that time the clock was like over 3 minutes, which is unacceptable. Honestly, absolutely way too long for the fight. I do not want to be here for that long, but it's inevitable, eventual. We are going to kill him. But Gar is a tanky, big HP boss boy. And we're going to do everything we can to actually chunk through that and not die ourselves along that way. Now, Righteous Fury, I'm sorry, not Divine Plea. Our wings buff, our Avenging Wrath, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Our Avenging Wrath ability shares like a weird debuff that our Sacred Shield, Divine Shield, I'm sorry, has. So if I pop that and I'm in any means and shape of danger needing to heal myself up, there's like a 30-second, I think, cooldown between using this two. Wait, no, Divine Shield, Divine Protection, Hand of Protection, 2 minutes. I think Avenging Wrath is 30 seconds. Now, I won't be able to use that other ability to heal myself up, so I have to be very careful before I use either or, the circumstances of the battle, before I opt into either decision. And usually, it's safer to hover over the Divine Shield so you can get your health back up. But, however, and I caveat, there's some bosses in here, it is 100% better to just burn their health down and get rid of them with a sliver of your HP left, because they put a debuff on you that makes it so that your heals do not even matter. So you want to just cook those bosses. And I'm having mana issues again. That's fine. I lost the buff. I'm kind of just talking. He's almost dead, which is great. I pop Seal of Wisdom. I'm going to get that back up because I want to kind of have my Avenging Wrath back up for the execution phase, because that's going to make my Hammer of Wraths do that much more damage as they're paired up together. So it's already an execution phase. I'm trying to get my mana back. I'm trying really hard because I absolutely want to have that back up. It's up in 50 seconds as I'm doing this. Not that it matters, because we're good. What matters is we're not dying. We're staying alive, baby. We are fighting the fight. We're getting through it. Just going to pop some bombs, my gloves, just rolling all this on them, getting my Divine Plea, getting some extra mana back. I'm almost at full mana. My Consecration just burns through so much of it. Holy smokes. He took that, debuffed our buff off of us. That's why it's jumping down even more. But I don't really want to be in here more long, so I'm going to kind of watch that fight. I'm going to go into Seal Corruption. I'm going to monitor my thingies, because 18 more seconds I'm going to be able to pop my Avenging Wrath. I'm kind of peeping around the screen. I'm looking great. Everything's looking good. I still got that buff on me. I don't get rid of this little debuff. Avenging Wrath, 6 seconds. I can pop my wings. This is good. Our mana's looking great, because we're about to go hard on them for this 1% left. Let's go. Let's get this binding, baby. Let's go. We didn't get it.